He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, where a man is recovering from injuries after accidentally shooting himself in the leg over the weekend. The police there say they responded to a call around 11:50 a.m. of a shooting. The reporting party said an unknown suspect had shot him while walking around the area. Police say it located the victim sitting in a chair in the parking lot of an apartment complex with a gunshot wound to the leg. Officers say they provided medical assistance and transported him to a local hospital. Additional officers arrived on the scene and were unable to figure out the location where the victim had been shot. But a car that belonged to the victim was located, and inside they found a firearm in plain view. They later determined he had accidentally shot himself and was not shot by anyone else. So.
Beautiful.
He has since been released from the hospital. Nothing further to that story if charges are going to be filed or anything, but
Because you said it's in Arizona?
Colorado Springs.
Oh, Colorado Springs, sorry. I don't know if Colorado does have one of those laws. Because I thought you said Arizona, and Arizona does have a law. It's like if you shoot yourself, you committed a crime, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Which makes some sense. It's like
I guess, but like, what if it's for science?
Like Tweedledee and Tweedledum that were testing bulletproof vests. And
I mean, it's mutual combat on yourself.
Yeah, that's why most mutual combat laws were removed. But
well, I mean, like in South Dakota, there's it basically for it to be an unlawful use of force, it has to be without legal justification and without consent.
That's fair.
So like, hey, let's get drunk and punch each other in the face and see who passes out first. Of course, if that's me and Jeff, I'm going to lose, not only for the drinking part, but also the punching part. And, but it'd be perfectly legal, you know?
Right.
So if I'm shooting myself for science, I don't know.
Yeah, because I know, like, the suicide laws are there because then they can actually do something about it. Because if there's like, oh, there's no law here. You tried to kill yourself. Fuck it. Have fun. Bye.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so another week, some more things. It's hot. Let's just start off with that. It's fucking hot.
Yep. It's absolutely miserable. I mean, from Saturday through Monday in Omaha, it's every day is supposed to, at least the heat index is supposed to be over 110.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely miserable.
For some reason, a Newsweek has a graphic showing states affected by the extreme heat, and they left out the Dakotas and Wyoming and Colorado and New Mexico. They left in Montana and then basically all the rest of the central U.S. I don't know, and then the Southwest, but it's always hot in the Southwest. But no, it's bananas. On Saturday, I guess it was 112 out in Rapid City.
Oof.
Yeah. That's a dry heat.
It's dry heat.
It was that same day, though, here, the temp was, it never cracked 100. The original forecast was for over 100 here in Sioux Falls. But the humidity, when it got up into the 90s, it was in the mid-90s, and the humidity was still at like 80%. I mean, it was like southern hot, you know. That's like what it was like when we were in Tennessee in August one year. It's never like that here. It was just disgusting. But how bad does it, like, I get why, you know, so in the South, some matches just sort of shut down. Like, we don't schedule big matches in the middle of the year or middle of summer, and like, I kind of don't want to shoot them here either.
Right. Luckily, it's looking like next weekend will be okay in Omaha. But yeah, my buddy Nolan shot a match down in Georgia, and the match director got heat exhaustion and had to. I think he just went and sat in his truck, and he may have just driven away at that point. It's like, what else can you do?
I shot a match yesterday and had a little heat exhaustion. I got through the match okay. Like, I felt fine driving home. Was super duper sweaty. It wasn't that hot. It was still only like 88 when I left, but the humidity was like 100%. It was, I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was exactly. It was really, really high though. I mean, you walk outside and everything's sweating.
Yep.
And I think I got into the cool air and didn't drink enough water. And then I took a nap that was 2 hours long. I never take 2 hour naps. My naps are like 20 minutes.
Yep.
And I woke up 2 hours later and I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. And I'm like, I was drinking water. Apparently I did not drink enough water, because then Jeff and I were going to record last night. We're recording this Monday afternoon, by the way. And I texted Jeff at like 6:30 and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. Like, my head hurts so fucking bad. I was just, it was absolute agony. And I'm just waiting for the for the meds to kick in, and finally they did, and then I just slept a bunch more. But so yeah, it sneaks up on you. One
thing you got to make sure that you're also getting the salt in your system. One of the guy that hosts the trips I go on, he was at the Acropolis in Athens and was drinking shit tons of water, but they think that he actually like washed out all the salt in his system.
Yeah.
And so he still got sick and wasn't feeling good and was all bloated. And he's like, I've drank enough water. And it was like, well, have you ate like shitty processed American food lately? And it's like, no. Okay. They don't have enough salt.
Yeah.
So make sure to pack Gatorade.
Yeah. Or the Propel packets. I think the Propel packets are kind of the sweet spot, because you can it isn't like the Liquid IV. It's like a shitload of the electrolytes, like a lot. The Propel packets are a smaller dose, and because I've done the Propel, or the Liquid IV and the Element, and it's just like, I feel weird after too many of those when it's really hot. And the Propel packet is like a perfect portion in the 16.9 ounce water bottles that are at every match. So
yeah,
I think those are just kind of perfect. Plus, they redid their packages. They give you a little more of the powder, but they only do 8 now instead of 10. I was a little irritated by that.
Shrinkflation. Whoop whoop.
Yeah. Well, they give you more per pack. You're getting more of the electrolytes though. Like it requires more water than it used to. So the packets are a little bigger. Not a lot, but a little. Like the dose is bigger basically, but they gave you fewer and kept the price the same. So
gotcha.
It was, yeah. I don't know. I was fine before, but anyway, shooting shit. Jeff's fundamentals suck. Yeah.
So I, put dots on guns and went to zero them. That's its own whole conversation. But, I'm quite trash at the basic forms of shooting. And also, so I went out Saturday morning because I woke up at like 7 a.m. and was like, well, shit, I should go do that. So I went out there, and even getting set up, and it was, 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning by the time I got there, I was already going, okay, I'm like in soup right now. This is awful. And so once I started shooting, I was like, I'm bad at this. Like my overall USPSA skill has somehow pasted over my shitty fundamentals that if you drew, or like the A box head box, I can't consistently put rounds in that
at
10
what
yards.
distance?
Like 10 yards. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And so I got a permanent marker and one of the caps from the paint caps, and just made circles on the target. It was like just trying to get the gun into the circle and keep both rounds in the circle. And it was like not as consistent as you would expect from someone of my caliber of shooting. So I think that I have to do this thing where I practice the fundamentals and I don't just practice the fun stuff, which I think is bullshit. But it was eye-opening, to say the least, how bad I am.
I do periodically shoot groups just for that reason, just to make sure, hey, I'm pressing the trigger correctly. Plus, especially when I'm shooting Glocks, because it's easy to get into the just because you're shooting a trigger that's not as easy to shoot. So I will shoot groups with that periodically just to make sure I'm still, hitting stuff the way I should be doing it. Like my trigger press hasn't gotten out of whack or anything, which it does from time to time. But usually I don't shoot groups every time I go to the range, but I actually was zeroing a new dot on my 19. Well, it was the dot I put on there a while ago, the 407C X3, like the new version of that. Yep. And I forgot I had not actually zeroed it. So I was zeroing that. So I was shooting groups with it. And then I had been moving dots around a little bit on guns. So I'd been shooting some groups lately. And yeah, my group shooting is still pretty decent. Whenever I try to shoot the headbox A though, I have such a hard time aiming that little bit further up. I just want to aim for the center of the headbox, because that's sort of my standard test. Can I keep them all in the headbox with my shitty reloads, because that's accounting for the bad ammo, and the ammo that isn't as good. So yeah, if I keep them all in the headbox at 25 yards, I'm happy with that. And then when I get into a batch of good ammo, like I can cover them with a fist, like I've shot groups, like 5-shot groups inside of 3 inches before at 25 yards. So it's a thing I'm capable of doing, but it is as they call, a perishable skill. So
yes. Mine is perished.
Yeah, you're perished. Sometimes I was actually listening to that Hit Factor podcast that Steven and Nick were on, and they were poo-pooing practicing fundamentals. They just, do the Omaha practice method of, we set up little stages because that's what Lane taught us to do, so that's what we do, and never do anything more basic than that.
Which is funny because Lane would go do his fundamental days by himself.
Right.
And that's kind of the deeper part that maybe we don't mention as much, is that we would show up on Lane's stage training day because he had already done his fundamental day and his drill day, and now was doing stage day. And we were just showing up for the fun part, because he would go through 500, 600, 700 rounds of just locking in on the fundamentals, which again, it's one of those crazy things about how you would think that fundamentals would be much more important than they are, but both me and Steven prove that you can get, to a fairly high level without focusing on them.
So I think it's incorrect to focus on them.
Well, that's kind of where the part of that conversation though is, because you'll get the cop boys and the defensive boys who are you have to account for every shot you ever take, and then you have the complete other side that's haha, go fast, pull trigger, and finding where you fall in that. Ben and Joel used to advocate for doing 15,000 rounds of doubles a year, and you're that seems like a lot and too much, versus us doing stage shit and maybe we'll never get to Ben's level, but we're still Steven is not a paper GM, and as Nick so graciously said, I'm not a paper M. So do you need to focus that much on the true fundamentals once you hit a certain point?
I think you always have to. What degree of focus, though?
Right. Well, that's, yes.
I think it still needs to be done. When I take the time to do 3 mags worth of doubles, it helps. It absolutely helps. It makes it easier to do those ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba when you're transitioning all over the place. 100%. The matches that I've done the best at are the ones where I've been doing doubles around them. It's not the only thing I do, as someone who is a paper M, it also helps when your gun works. More on that later. But when I've been doing more of the fundamental things. My dry fire used to involve a lot more of the stand there and do shit stuff, from the Steve Anderson books, like 6 Reload 6. And, I would always do some of that. And I don't really do any of that anymore when I dry fire. And I think it's part of the reason why I don't do reloads real quick anymore. My reloads are not what they used to be. I used to be able to do about a 1.1 second reload, and I don't remember the last time I did that without a magwell. But
yeah,
it's I don't know. I think fundamentals are fundamental, and you should always practice them to some extent. I don't think they need to be 70% of your practice, but I think they should probably be somewhere between 10 and 20%.
Okay, so I mean that's. For a 300 round session, that's 30 to 60 rounds.
Do a mag worth of doubles. Why not?
Well, again, that's,
or a mag worth of practical accuracy, or something like that.
That's finding. Again, we're finding the middle ground, because according to Ben, he would do 150 rounds of doubles and then 150 rounds of stage plan, drill work, whatever. Because he straight up said in one of the 8 million podcasts he's ever done, I just remember him talking about doing 50% of his rounds fired in a year were on doubles. And so finding how much fundamental work, like you said, 10, 20%. Okay. Maybe that's reasonable way to get warmed up. There's a conversation of not warming up before you do your first stage, at least, but finding that, happy balance and keeping it fun, because there's other people who work so much on fundamentals that you're like, okay, we can go to the next part because you're at the 80, 90%. Like, we can move on. You don't need to grind out that last 10%.
Yeah. I did the part-time thing this past week. More on that in a moment. First, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month. You will get all of the second episode every single week. I have red 407 comps in stock. Several have sold already from people just looky-looing on the website. So notanothershootingshow.com if you want a 407 comp in red. I've got them on the website now. I'm out of the 507s. Let's see. We also have T-shirts with just the, the pocket logo and the back logo, and they make your penis larger. So get a T-shirt at notanothershootingshow.com. Also, the YouTube, I didn't get that part 2 video done from Rushmore because, well, my whole family was gone and I was trying to get kitchen cabinets all painted all in one week, and that sucks. And it took up all of my time, and I still don't have it done. Anyway, Not Another Shooting Show on YouTube. We've got videos going up there. Go subscribe and like some videos and subscribe. NASS on Reddit, r/NASS on Reddit. MW Activewear, the finest jerseys for your match. Speaking of matches, Illinois section coming up August 15th and 16th in Havana, Illinois. Minnesota section is August 29th and 30th at Forest Lake. And Wisconsin Belt PCSL Championship, September 26th and 27th. Boom. I did the part-time thing that is all the rage right now.
Oh, and how did that work out for you there, bud?
After doing it, I totally get it now. Totally get it. It's not a thing. It should not be the only thing you ever practice. It's a fun thing to do here and there. If you go to the range once, if you're able to do dry fire like once every 2 weeks, that's usually what I do during the year is I'll go to the range and I'll do like 500 rounds like every other week. I wouldn't do it every single time I went, but maybe every other. But I wouldn't. The other thing too, I wouldn't spend a ton of time on it. It's just more educational for the turtles. 100%. If you are pokey, it is super duper useful. If your tendency is to go slow, super useful. So the stage I did it on was, it was just sort of an array where I went left to right and then right to left. Basically, I just shot the same batch of targets to the right, and then I shot them going to the left. So it was around, 12 or 14 rounds, something like that. And the first run was 10:59, cold. First trigger pulling I did the whole day. And So then I'd knock 20% off, which I just rounded up to 8.5 seconds. First time I tried it after I did that. Did not make the par time. There's 2 steel targets to hit. Did not hit the steel. Points don't matter on the paper, but it's still sort of a barometer. So I'm like, okay, you got to go, dude. You got to fucking go, is basically what I got in my head. So then I fucking went, and I came very close to beating the par time then the second run. And I only missed one of the steel. Third run, I know I had hits on all the paper, and I hit both steel, and I beat the par time.
Nice.
So was like, okay. So I need to trust myself more than I've been trusting myself.
Correct.
When it comes to the fucking go. It's just not in my nature to go fast. I want to, like, something in my DNA wants to aim, hit, like a fucking FUD. I don't know why. It's my nature. But it was eye-opening, like what's possible. Then I tried knocking another 20% off. And the first run I was halfway back across when the second one went off. And then I'm like, okay, you're not going to get the hits, but like just try to finish it. Yep. And so it was like draw. I threw around the first target was steel, and I actually hit the steel on the draw. Go all the way back and forth. I almost made the par time. Hit. If there was scoring on these paper targets, I know I missed a couple of them completely on both shots. But I'm just trying to get there. Just trying to do the movement in time to get there. And if I remember right, it was going off right as I'm shooting at the last paper. Like just before I fired the last 2 shots. So I got close, and that would have been like 6.8 seconds. Damn. So it was instructional for me. Yeah. Very, very much so. And
it can be a very useful tool. Like you said, there's a certain point where it does get so extreme that it stops being as useful.
Oh, there comes you can't just keep knocking 20% off and think you're going to keep making it.
Right. And like if you've never done part-time before, I would recommend your first run you base it off of is your conservative match, like I'm getting all alpha speed. Like, because
hit all the steel on the first shot, like literally shoot all alphas, I think would be the most useful way to do it. Like where you have 2 alpha.
Yep. And then start knocking time off and understand there is a wall. Like there's just a physical wall you will hit where it's like, oh man, I can't get this done. And you said 6 seconds, like, okay, now knock it down to 4. And you're like, there's not 2 seconds to find here. Like, I'm running by a target, firing 2 without looking at it. There isn't more to gain here. And so making sure what level of reasonableness, or there's a level of reasonableness to the strategy and to the time, because, maybe less useful the closer there, the farther you get into like GM, because you're shaving off like a percentage here, a percentage there. You're like, I bet a guy shooting low B class would find a ton of use from this drill and be like, oh my God, I found like 10%. And it's like, yeah. And then a GM will try and be like, I found 2%, maybe 1%. And it's like, yep, that's because you were already near that 100%.
But I think it'd still be useful for those guys to just like push that line a little farther, that little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further.
Right. As we talked about before, if that's something you struggle with, it can definitely be a good tool. People who are already just like throwing themselves around the stage, you might not see as much usefulness out of it, but I like part-time stuff. So I do recommend it for people to try, because it will show you things and put a different kind of pressure on you. But there is a level that will be like, okay, this is turned into absurdity.
Yeah. But I think it's the type of thing that I think it could be useful for people who are not turtles, people who are, there's a reason. Nathan Barnes, the guy that started doing it, he's already really fucking fast. It's like, does he need it? No, but he's still pushing, getting that little bit. Yeah, the gains are less for really good, really fast shooters, but they're still gains, And that's the thing. Once you get good, the gains are smaller. obviously, you know, but there's still gains to be had. So I think they're definitely still worth doing. So I took that little practice into the match this past Sunday before I got heat exhaustion, and I brought the speed. The problem was my gun didn't work.
What? Glock perfection.
Now I was watching my first person videos, and on I had 3 malfunctions in the match where the gun just didn't either close all the way, or I thought it was not closing all the way was the main problem, but there's one where I hear a trigger click and nothing happened, like bad primer. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. It was really frustrating. First stage of the day was the match was really hosey, so I was just pretty much, I kind of decided I'm going to go fast today. And we're going to aim our ass off, but we're going to go fast today. And first stage was a very hosey stage. It was a sort of a copied stage from Area 5. You know, of course, it wasn't probably to scale or that close, but it was something taken from the matchbook for Area 5. And it was super fun. And I shot it great. And then I get to the end and I do a popper dance with 2 poppers, like going miss, 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 back and forth, like fire 3 shots, shoot the paper, and then when I go to knock down the last popper that I'd been missing, then the trigger goes click, and I'm like, son of a bitch, and it cost me 3 seconds.
Yep.
And so instead of shooting it it was actually, I shot it in 18 flat, so I should have shot it in like 15 and change. So that hurt a lot. And then next stage, I didn't have a malfunction on that stage. No, I take it back. I just had 2 malfunctions that hurt a lot. The classifier we shot was one. It was already on my record, so it didn't really matter. But same thing though. It just gun didn't go off. I can't tell if the slide was out of battery or if it was a bad primer, or I don't know, because I couldn't. What it's been doing is like it'll be just slightly out of battery. But in the first person video, I can't tell, but I'm just racking it, and I have no idea what's going on.
Bullet turn too long?
No, that's not the problem. Because usually when I do that, I just give it a smack and it closes. It'll do it on make ready sometimes too, where it's just not closing all the way. And somebody suggested yesterday, well, have you tried cleaning it? Well, Glocks don't really need it, but the thing I realized, I was messing with it today, took it apart, and this was my Gen 6, like just bought it in January. I'm probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 rounds with it. Probably more like 3. It doesn't have that years and years of buildup of grime and oil like my Gen 5 has.
Yeah.
So when I was actually just sort of like racking between the two, like it was a lot more gritty and grindy on the Gen 6. So it was probably starved of a little oil. It could have used some lubrication. And then I oiled up the slide and the spots on the barrel where you do. And then I was racking around and I was like, man, it still feels really gritty and grindy. So then I just oiled the shit out of it and then racked it around. And now it was like, oh, okay, this is what it's supposed to be like. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So I may have had a lube problem. I don't know. I think I'm done shooting the Gen 6 in matches. I'm just going to shoot my 34 because that gun has never given me a problem ever. And if I also can't tell if the slightly lightened striker spring is an issue. It's still got a 5-pound spring in it. I don't lighten it that much.
Yeah.
But one of the two, I remember it being a pull the trigger and click. It wasn't an out of battery thing. So, like it just didn't close all the way after the shot. So
right.
I don't know. I'm just going to shoot the 34 because it just runs. And
yeah, I mean, you stick with what works. Because Glock Gen 6s, aren't they a little, well, just being a new gun, they're going to be a little tighter than, your shot out Glock 34s that have seen a couple thousand rounds through them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Glock continues to be perfection, I guess.
The gun shoots fine. I don't know. I'm not willing to test the new gun in matches anymore. So, I've been having that same problem happen for a while, but I also have not lubed my gun in all of that time. So, I've never had trouble with a Glock doing that, but I've also been better about oiling them than I have with this new gun that, honestly, I don't know if I ever did oil the thing since I got it. I don't recall ever actually doing it, so I'm sure I did at least once since January. So could be the thing. But anyway, you were doing some gunsmithing.
I did. I actually finally mounted the Hollow Suns on my guns because I've been too fucking smashed to do get my Trijicons fixed. So it's really remarkably easy to mount, and then Hollow Sun does a really good job of zeroing them for you. So as long as you mount them correctly, the bullets will go where you want them to. I mounted 2 Hollow Suns on 2 of my MPs and went out to the range with the little Hollow Sun tool, and I learned that my fundamentals aren't fantastic, but the bullets were going generally where if I did the right things, the bullets went to the right place. So it's like
the times where you didn't fuck up the trigger press, they went where you aimed.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, this was kind of, anticlimactic. I'm like, they had this nice little tool to adjust shit and and it was like, everything's fine. Well, I guess I have my carry gun again. So no more 10 mil carry gun for me. Back to now I have a Hollow Sun as my got to trust those cheap Chinese optics with my life.
The tool that Hollow Sun gives you to adjust it because the other end is the Torx for the screws. I don't keep one of those in my bag, mainly because they're really, really small and easy to lose because they're like about the length of an Allen key.
Yep.
What I use to adjust dots is actually remember the blue screwdriver you got with your Burris Fast Fire 3s?
Oh, yeah.
I keep one of those in my bag because it's like a full-length mini screwdriver. And it's actually longer than a regular mini screwdriver. And so I don't lose it in my bag. It fits in the little slot thing, and it's not this super tiny thing. And so I always pull that out whenever I have to zero gun. Speaking of zeroing dots, when I zeroed my 407C the other day, which, by the way, I don't know if I've talked about that optic. That's a cool optic. You could shoot matches with that thing because the window's bigger than the old 407C or 507C. It's the same damn thing, just not the stupid ring reticle. The window is bigger. There was a guy on my squad yesterday who was shooting the match with one. It's basically halfway between the old one and a comp. The window is that much bigger.
That's reasonable.
It's got a little bit of a overhanging hood over the lens. So I don't know how much that would help with shading, like if you're, low sun, Iowa section or matches in rapid kind of thing. But the thing that was the coolest, though, is like going from light to dark, the auto adjust actually works. Like quickly.
Oh, that's very useful.
Yeah. So I was just walking around in my basement here at night. So there's like no light from outside coming in. And then I'm in the hallway, walk into the bathroom where there are no windows at all. And the lights were on. And then I closed the door to the bathroom and then I shut off the light. And then like within less than a half a second, it dimmed down to an appropriate light level. Now, of course, it's pitch black, so I couldn't see anything anyway. I have not tried it with a weapon-mounted light yet. That's the only test I haven't done with it, but how it would adjust to having a light shined on something. But at least, ambient light, it adjusts pretty quick. And it's as bright as you would want it to be, was the thing I thought was cool. So, yeah, that's
And this was you said 40...
407C X3.
I don't think I even heard of this one. Interesting.
Everyone was so excited about the 407 comp, they weren't paying attention to this one. The 507 and 407. It's actually they're advertising the 507C X3 on Practice Score. Like when you see a HoloSun ad on there,
yeah,
that's what it's for. It's for that new version of the 4 and 507s.
Interesting.
For a carry gun, even I would throw one on a match gun, 100%. And this thing's even cheaper than the 407 comp. I actually have one. I bought two because I wanted one for myself, and I just bought a second one in case I thought they were good or whatever. And it's on the website, notanothershootingshow.com. If you want to buy it, I forgot how. I mean, it's way cheaper. I don't know what the advertised price is for them. Yeah, advertised is $240. So after you add to cart, it's a lot cheaper than that. So,
because on HoloSun's website, because that's where I'm at, the 407 comp is $329, and then the 407C X3 is $282 on their
the MSRP.
It's like, oh damn, that's with how much I know 407s costs, I'm like, oh shit, like that could have been a good option. I think I bought the original 407 that was on like fire sale because I think I got it for like $160.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I've had all of my dots on pistols except my SROs and my comp optics are all 407Cs. Yep. Oh, I do have one 507C because it was the first one I bought because I didn't know the only difference was the ring reticle. So I was like, well, I'll get the one that costs more because it must be better. Oh, it's not. It's just it just has an extra reticle I don't want, and I'm paying more for that. Oh, okay. That's what it is. But anyway, so we mentioned it, Soft Steven and Hard Nick. They were on the Hit Factor podcast with Saul.
I don't want to toot our own horn too much, but they had a lot of technical issues towards the end of it that I was like,
I didn't get that far.
Oh yeah, at some point, like you can hear Steven, but Saul can't hear Steven, and so Steven's like, "No, I can hear you." Like, hey, can you not hear me? And then Saul's like, "Well, I guess we lost Steven." So hey, Nick's like, da-da-da-da. It's like, oh, this is annoying.
That's funny,
but no, it was nice to hear them chat about all of the things. I didn't realize that they were going up to Area 5, but
oh yeah, speaking of Area 5,
looks like they had a fun time.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of videos from Area 5 yet. I'm sure the stages were interesting, but there were issues. If you ask any podcast that ever does.
Well,
stages are good except for this one that sucked and that one that sucked, and I didn't like this thing and that thing. There's not really a lot of that shit on shooting podcasts anymore, though.
People don't watch the news to hear what's good in the world,
right?
Everything is fine.
Jacob Hetherington won CO. Joseph Weichel was second. Nico Robinson third. Lane got fourth, and June Kim got fifth. Where did Steven show up?
He's not far.
Soft GM at 90%. Hey, at least you helped make the classification count. Oh wait, they didn't need you. They had plenty up there.
Yeah,
but I mean, he still was in the 90. He didn't. He wasn't the GM who was like at 88% or something like that.
Yeah, and he beat 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jesus, there are 9 GMs below him that I found. 10? What the fuck? 77%, motherfucker. God damn.
Well, hey, just remember, sometimes guns die.
Sometimes guns do die. Nick got fucked. I haven't talked to him, but I want to I should message him. He was.
Ooh, looks like he had a.
So if you go to the
he's zero to stage. He had a gun die stage. It looks like.
No, in the scoring stuff, it says that he was supporting his hand in a strong hand, weak hand, which I'm confused.
Oh, like he shot rounds that the left hand was supposed to be shooting?
Again, sometimes practice scores wrong or dumb or whatever, but it says his 12 procedurals are 10.2.8.2 strong hand, weak hand, other hand supports gun.
So he didn't switch hands when he was supposed to on something?
Or his arm was, or he forgot it was strong hand, weak hand and just shot it normal, or they're accusing him of basically like, because I saw this in Kansas one time where basically the RO accused a guy who said he was a CRO of putting his arm like under his tricep to like help support the arm so it didn't move as much. Maybe that, I don't know. I haven't talked to Nick. I was meant to message him, but it's also, I never feel very nice messaging. So you fucked up. Tell me about it. Cause there's 12 shots and 12 procedurals. So he must have just like drawn and shot freehand or something.
Well, wait, is there a rule that's like strong hand, weak hand, touching gun, other hand supports gun? So those are the strong hand, weak hand. There's 3 of them. Strong hand, weak hand, touching gun. So like that would be wrong hand. Other hand supports gun, meaning somehow like you were talking about like holding up the arm or something.
Well,
and then
yeah.
other hand, strong hand, weak hand, other hand on prop. There's so many procedurals. I've never even gone down the list because the top 2 are the only ones that I ever need is FTSA and foot fault.
Right, because you never use creeping. We don't ever use Cooper tunnels, thank God. Rearrangement of range equipment or surface. Never seen that one done before. That's awesome. Interference or unauthorized assistance during car's fire. Oh, that's coaching. Use sighting aids during walkthrough. Classic.
Water bottles.
Approaching targets while scoring. That's a procedural? What?
This is what I've heard of. People have gotten procedurals because they were. Well, actually, no, it wasn't a procedural. It was they weren't going to do a calibration because they were too close to it. Like they approached it. They approached the popper. They were too close to it. No one reset it or touched it or did anything to it, but they got too close to it. Some dumb fucking thing.
So it was placed at an illegal position and you get a procedural for it. Oh my God, I love it. Our sport is dumb sometimes, but yeah, they were on that podcast. They had a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, their different training styles and the friendship they've made along the way. And there was a small discussion of, shooting under the Miata's, Mr. Miata's headlights.
I didn't get that far. I just looked up 9.1.1. So approaching targets while scoring is in progress, competitors or their delegate must not approach any target closer than 3 feet without the authorization of the range officer. Violation may, at the discretion of the RO, incur a procedural penalty. So if someone walks up to it too close, they can give you a procedural for just standing too close to it.
That seems arbitrary and fucking like
touching it is one thing. Approaching it closer than 3 feet is, I could see how that would get abused. I would never in a million years give someone a procedural for that. Because violation may, at the discretion of the range officer, incur a penalty. That's leaving it wide open for someone to just be an asshole.
Yeah,
touching is a different story. If they're like messing with the paper and the paster and no, I'd hand out a procedural for that for sure.
Yeah, if they're trying to literally modify it or cover something up or whatever, sure, that 10.6, fuck that guy. But if I'm like, oh wait, I only see one hole, fuck, am I not like, my vision's not that great sometimes. Am I not allowed to get close enough to like see? It's like that's a really fucking rule. Never even saw that
dumb.
one.
I've never heard of that one getting used, but but there's something about I don't know. I'm not going to try and search for that. dumb one that I heard about because someone got screwed by that. Was it at Area 3 last year? I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, so they did the other podcast thing. I listened to part of it and was in the middle of lubing my gun and taking things apart and messing with it, and I didn't hear all of it, and then we had to start recording, so I haven't heard all of it yet. Okay. 2011 FRT. There's a 2011 FRT.
Yeah, I saw it. Some guy was advertising it. I hope I saved it. I know I sent it to some people. The dude had it in a Kimber 2011, and it was kind of like, there's a part of me that wants one because God, it looks hilarious.
But you'd have to get a 2011.
I know that's if they made one for CZs, then all right, maybe I'd be interested. But I don't know, that again, they're retarded. There's no good use for them.
No,
but the stupid part of my brain's like, so Staccato XC. I've always wanted to see how a open gun with ammo that runs through it would handle being a full auto if it would just be like a COD Warzone loadout where you're just lighting off rounds and the thing isn't moving, or if the concussion and the actual physics of it would knock you around more than you expect it to. But these FRTs are getting silly. I've seen them coming out for basically every PCC. I think I saw one for P90s. Like, I'm super interested how much longer this will go before, like, I think Colorado may have just passed a law against them. They were passing some stupid law. I can't keep track of them all, but it's super interesting seeing every one of these FRTs. I mean, the TRX 22 ones, like, those are everywhere. I mean, they handed them out at the belt championship.
Here's the problem with FRTs. I'm not against them at all. Don't get me wrong. I mean, America, 2A strong, hashtag 2A strong, fucking A. Okay. Here's the problem that's going to happen to the FRTs is ranges are going to stop allowing them.
Yep.
And here's why. On last Wednesday, I was actually teaching a private class, and I heard some guys shooting on the 100-yard range at my club. And then every once in a while I'd hear, 22s get ripped. Yep. And I'm like, well, that sounded like they were relatively close to the berm. Like we were in that corner bay, and it sounded like they were just pretty much lateral to us within 25 yards of the backstop. So, okay. Mm-hmm. And then we heard them rip another mag, and you could hear bullets hitting the trees over the berm. Like, bullets Jesus. Left the range. I mean, you're shooting this thing from fucking 100 yards away from a 10-foot berm.
Right.
You can't shoot these things at 100 yards and expect all your bullets to hit the berm. That's just not how it works.
Nope.
So I drive over there and go, hey, you guys are sending bullets off the range. You can't do this on a 100-yard range. So next board meeting, I'm going to recommend that we ban them. I'm not for banning them, but the FRTs need to stay the fuck off the rifle ranges. And they need to be in the pistol ranges, the short range bays, because I wouldn't shoot it on a 100-yard range.
No, full auto is a very short range tool.
It's not a, oh God, it's just, people don't fucking think. They're just like, look at my cool toy. What? It's just 22. Yeah. But most people don't see their sights when they're shooting. Most people shoot pistol like pow, 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 pow. Well, yeah, they see their sights for every shot. We can go pow, 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 and see our sight or dot for every shot. But these knuckleheads don't see shit when they're ripping off an FRT.
No. And they're so... Okay, I haven't shot a lot of them. Most of them seem semi-predictable, but as someone, I've shot binaries and I think I shot a bump stock once. Those are like unpredictable, and you're like, unless you get like a lot of practice with it, and you never actually practice with them. You hand them to your buddy who's never shot one before. He dumps a mag and then will never do it again. I'm less in favor of them, but I do think they're silly, and would like to try some of the pistol versions of them. But I would also not like to be on a range with anyone who has one, because I don't trust the average gun owner, but I don't trust them with other guns as well. I'm not making a distinction between that I trust them with this and not this. I just don't trust them at all. But I have seen, I mean, my range has several bays that are like no full auto in these bays. And right now FRTs are technically not full auto. And so people get away with it. But yeah, if they start putting them over the berm on a regular basis,
then you just also say no FRTs or full autos.
Yep. No full auto, bump stock, binary trigger.
Yeah. You just have to name all of the things. Binary triggers are a little different. I mean, yeah, you can make them go super fast, but at least you're still in control. You know, a little more control, I guess.
Yeah.
I've never shot an FRT or a binary, so I guess I don't really know. I've only ever shot full autos.
Right. The binary, the biggest problem with binary is it changes your normal perception of what's going to happen, because the second shot happens on the release of the trigger.
Right.
And so if of course, this would be a very weird niche situation or whatever, but if there was some reason that you fired the first shot and you couldn't fire the second one, or there's some issue, what do you do? Now, some of them you turn the safety on and that disengages that feature.
Like an AR, I think that's what you do. If you have it held back, you flick safety on, then it doesn't fire.
Right. I just don't know if it does that all of the time, or
I suppose you could pull the bolt back.
Right.
Would be another way, at least on a. I guess I've never only ever heard of binary triggers on ARs. Have they been on pistols?
They've been on some. I remember seeing a binary trigger on a Glock at SHOT Show, and thinking it was the dumbest idea possible, because people can barely control watching someone who doesn't know how to run a binary in a rifle. You're like, okay, this is not the best thing, but like, it's not terrible. Watching someone try to run a pistol where when you pull the trigger, it goes off, and when you release a trigger, it goes off. As someone who's watched someone almost kill themselves with the 500 Magnum, where it recoils so hard that they shoot again, I don't like the idea of a gun that goes off after when you release the trigger. So I've seen them, like I said, at SHOT Show. I've never seen a video of a binary triggered Glock. I've only seen the FRT pistols, but we did see that MMP explode.
Yeah.
That video that went viral. Now, he was shooting incendiary rounds. He was shooting something weird, and like his gun started on fire.
Yeah. I saw another video just recently, but it was, I don't know if it was the same one or if it was a different one, but no, it wasn't. It was something different, because it was a hammer fired gun of some kind, and it was going brrr, and then it just started exploding. And
how terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, they're neat and all, but I'm not buying one.
Right.
I have to have at least some sort of a purpose. I'm not the most practical. Like, I know some tight asses are like, if I don't compete or carry it, I don't own it. Okay. Well, you don't like fun. All right. Fine.
Correct.
I don't carry an M1 either, but I got a fucking Garand. You know, I don't hunt with it, but I still got it because it's awesome. Like, it's okay to have awesome, cool things too, but it's just not. I'm just not interested in it. I don't care.
The Glock binary triggers called G-Flex. It's $150, and yeah, when you pull the trigger, it goes off. When you release the trigger, it goes off. And it's banned in 15 states already.
Well, Sounds like more money I won't spend. All right. Well, I think we've done enough damage here because you have to go back to work.
Those minor details.
These little details. Yeah, I was drinking hard. I had a Dr. Pepper while we were recording.
Oh, God. You're not going to sleep tonight.
Well, I only had about 18 hours of sleep in the last 24, so I'm probably good. I probably don't need that much sleep tonight anyway. But thank you so much for listening, everybody. We do really, really appreciate it. He is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.